It is April 23rd and I am just waking up and getting ready. So my last update was on the 19th. This past week, I think I went to 4 workout classes. So if you're just joining, I ended up going to this Well Summit and winning a month to these workout classes called AKT. And they have 4 main types of what they do in the class: bands, circuit, tone, and dance. And so I've been mainly going to like the intro classes or the combo classes, but what I actually really like about the class, it's in West Hollywood and I'm in Inglewood, so it takes me about over an hour to commute each way. So sorry to AKT WeHo, but I don't know if I'm going to continue just because the commute is definitely a lot. But they have these bars hanging on the roof and then they throw these bands over top that kind of look like a jump rope, but with little handlebars. And then you put your hands in and the whole time you're kind of doing exercises like this. And one of the things that has been interesting to me about workout classes is that I'm experiencing something, I don't know if it's a formal thing, but informally it's known as overuse syndrome, which is effectively just saying because I haven't been able to use my injured arm for 25 years, I've been overcompensating on my non-injured arm, and that's putting a lot of stress on my hand, on my wrist, on this part of my arm, and starting to experience some pain because everyone is fixated on the injured arm and if it's in any pain, and I feel very fortunate that I don't experience any pain. So it has been kind of nice to do these band exercises because it is exercising my injured arm. I also think those like wrist weights, I don't have them. Actually, I might have them somewhere, but those are also helpful too. But my focus right now is just to try to figure out how much I can help balance putting more weight and daily tasks and stuff like that on my injured arm. But one thing I did want to address, so I've been starting to share some of the content from Coachella, and I got a lot of feedback on one of my TikToks, and the TikTok was actually just sharing what the Accessible Plus program was about, but I got a lot of feedback because there was some footage in there from our camp where the majority of us weren't wearing masks. So I started getting a lot of feedback, and you know, if you are immunocompromised and for community care, wearing a mask, you know, not only protects you, but it also protects everyone that you're around. And as mask requirements have started to lessen, I will take my own personal responsibility. I still wear a mask on public transit, in ride shares, at the airport, and on airplanes. But I also will take into account knowing that there aren't mask requirements, like what are my comfort levels for showing up in certain places, or will I choose a meeting spot outside, or I'll always ask the person that I'm with if they feel comfortable with me removing my mask, or if they want me to wear a mask while I'm around them. So I started getting a lot of feedback about how there wasn't a mask requirement and how it could be called Accessible Plus. And I tried to respond by saying I'm taking personal accountability for my own mask wearing, and I also take accountability and responsibility that around the campgrounds and around other people who were in the program, I didn't wear a mask, but if I was in large groups of people, I would wear a mask. And also it was very dusty at Coachella, so that's why in addition to just being around a lot of people and wanting to wear a mask, then it was just windy and dusty, and masks were also helpful for that. So you'll also notice a lot of people are wearing bandanas around their neck, and they use that as their version of face coverings. But I had dinner with a friend, Michelle, on Friday Friday went to a workout class, and then I came here and I'm part of this styling session for the Asian Hustle Network conference that's coming up this week. And so she came over and we tried out everything, and then I had dinner with Michelle. And Friday, I think that was April 20th, was kind of the day that I was reflecting on all of the feedback that I had gotten and was thinking about what's my individual responsibility, what's the community responsibility, and what's the broader responsibility. And this is where and I'm actually going to include this as part of the book, where it's being able to like sit in the contradictions. So I've already been back from Coachella for a week, knowing that there weren't mask requirements. I chose to show up, and I also chose to wear a mask during certain parts of it. And I also know that for certain members of our community, that wasn't enough. And so the contradiction to me was that I'm really hoping, I feel so proud, and I came back from my experience at Accessible Plus, just so proud of the program, so proud of Carrie, who is the impact producer of all of this, for putting everything together, the job shadowing, the mentoring, the VIP experiencing, and the small community that we had created with each other for those of us who were also in the program. And at the same time, I also know that even though we felt comfortable not wearing a mask around each other, that we may have caused harm to other members of our community, our immunocompromised peers who saw us as perpetuating harm by not wearing masks at the event. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I passed the feedback along to the organizers around maybe exploring if a mask requirement would be needed around the campgrounds, just specifically for the program. And I also take accountability that I did wear a mask, again, in large groups, and if there was a lot of dust, but around the campgrounds, I didn't. And my own personal choice to wear a mask and to not wear a mask may have caused harm to other people. So I think I know that that's not enough. And it's one of these contradictions that I'm holding, because I know that my actions did hurt people. And at the same time, I'm also really proud of just the program and the ability and access that I had to be able to participate in it. So let's see how we can do better from a community care perspective. And oftentimes in these situations, I think about action. And for me, I think since I had already come back from the event, I was trying to think about what I could do to help make things better for this weekend. And I still want to be able to share disabled joy and how transformative this experience was for some of us who were the participants in the program. And it was also interesting kind of being in a program that I wasn't leading, being part of a disability program that I wasn't leading, that I was an attendee in, and being able to show up in support and solidarity of Carrie and really put my participant hat on actually was really fun. And I liked that balance of leadership and being a follower as well. But I'm open to ideas that people have of what other things I can do.